Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Amar Makar. Back with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect and to the great multitude destined for salvation. More than likely the ones that don't get involved in stuff like we're about to get into right now, man. If you haven't seen this, it's a few days old. This guy William McNeil Jr. I'm actually going to give his parents some props for not naming him one of them fucking ridiculous names that these Negroes like to name their children out there in Babylon, man. Quantavius or some madness like that. It's a pretty standard name, albeit it's not his name really, is it? McNeil, that's the Edomite name, but still, you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to the point. This guy was involved in a traffic stop. You can get into the legalities of it. It was an illegal traffic stop, let's just keep it real, right? But he wanted to play that, where's your supervisor? I'm not breaking the law. I know the law, and that's all fair and good, man. I don't really blame him for going on like that, because he doesn't understand what he's involved in, man. He's dealing with a force of power, right? That he can't control. That America, was built off the backs. Babylon was built off the backs of our people, man, and they don't have any intention of treating us like we're on the same level as them, even though we're above them according to the scriptures as Israelites, But he thought he could play that game that the Edomites play, man. But it's not. We're in their kingdom, man. They're running things, man. They have the the fatness of the earth, man. They have everything right now, so you can't be playing them games like you're on their levels, man, because you ain't on their levels, man. We're on them levels. When we're on a level, we'll be above their level, man, way above. They're going to end up being nothing, alright? Absolutely nothing. So that's what we gotta wait for. But these jakes, they don't believe, man. They don't believe in anything worth believing in. They believe in America, and they believe in the Constitution and all that stuff. That's why if we could, this guy in the glasses, man, he smashed that window, punched him in the face, dragged him out, punched him in the face again, and punched him some more times, man. Because why? Because they know they can get away with it. The justice is right now is on this earth, according to the laws of the lands, is not for us, man. So let's read this. I'm just going to get into that a little bit and then just read some scriptures, man. It's not going to be anything long, But it's just, we was talking about, we had a sit down today. We was talking about these ninjas, man. They don't want to hearken, man, and they're wicked. Ultimately, what he was getting there was some judgment, man. Lucky that he walked out of that alive. He only walked out of it with a chipped tooth. He could have had a chipped skull. He could be 6 feet deep right now. In his mums and his pups mourning. But the Lord had mercy, right? He had mercy on him. Because them guys out there in Babylon, man, or anywhere in the world, these devils don't mess around when it comes to the lives of Jake, man. The scriptures tell you, man, that you should have none assurance of their life. It's some curses, man. If they knew that, they would move differently. We know that. That's why when it comes to that sort of thing, man, we play the game. It's not selling out. It's playing the game, man. You have to know when you can't win. So it says, a Florida Sheriff's Office has suspended an officer, probably getting full pay. He's not going to lose his job. Let's face it, right? Who punched a driver in the face during a traffic stop that went viral. And I say that because the chief is a Jake who's backing all of this stuff, man. These Jakes, man, are here and selling themselves out for Esau. I think Ask you something about that in F the Police. Showing out for the white cops, man. So that's what you're up against, man. We can't, what happened to that, I can't remember the name of that guy, They got stomped out by about 5 Jake officers, man. Are you going to blame Esau for that? Now people are wicked, man. And now what? They got judged for that, and they went to the prison for that, man. Now if that was a bunch of Edomites, man, they would have all got off scot-free, more than likely. So you see, this place isn't built for us, man. I'm yapping them on, but I have to make these points, man. So it says William McNeil Jr. posted video of himself sitting in his car as a policeman smashed the window, hit him, and dragged him to the ground in the city of Jacksonville on the 19th of February this year. Right, I'm going to jump down. It says the sheriff's office, right here, said a state prosecutor had found no misconduct by the officers, but an internal review was also on the way. So there's no justice for us here, man. The only justice we're going to get, and that's not the only, the main important justice that we're going to get is when Yahweh Shai comes back. And when I say we're going to get, I'm talking about the elect, man, because look, the 2/3 or whatever you want to call them, they're going to get their justice in the kingdom, man, because they're going to be able to whip the asses of these devils and all of that too. But ultimately, they're not going to get any of that pleasure until they're in the kingdom through childbirth, through being reborn again, man. In the flesh, and also obviously in the heart, man, meaning the mind, man, because they're going to have the laws written in them, and they ain't going to be arseholes anymore, to put it bluntly. It says in a news conference on Monday, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters, this is that, sellout, said the state attorney's office has determined that none of the involved officers violate criminal law, even though the administrative review has yet to be completed. But he said one officer, D. Bowers, has been stripped of law enforcement duties pending a review into whether he violated any of the sheriff's office policies. Look, policies at the end of the day aren't laws. One department can have a policy different to another department down in the same city or in the same state. Sheriff Waters Sheriff Waters added, a person must comply with an officer's commands, even if that person disagrees with that officer's reasons for the stop. And now I know, according to their laws, that if it's an unlawful command, you don't have to comply. But you have to know the law, obviously. Right, it says the body cam shows the officer telling McNeil that he has been pulled over for not wearing his seatbelt or having his headlights on in inclement weather, meaning the law states that you cannot drive in the daytime if it's raining, smoky, through rain, smoke or fog, right, I believe. So if it's those are the conditions, you must have your headlights on, right? Whether it was raining at that time, we can't tell, but it doesn't really matter because the same policemen that said that all pulled up without their lights on. So it just goes to show that they were just hunting out. They hunt jakes, man. All right, and it's not just jakes; they're just wicked anyway. They hunt people, but we're the main target, man. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much more into this. Long story short, he didn't comply with their orders. He shut his door because he was probably scared, and then they smashed the window, punched him in the face, pulled him out, and then later on in the arrest report tried to say that he was reaching for a knife that was found on the floor under a bunch of debris anyway, and it shows you that he wasn't doing that. So, that's the Esau eating for you liars, man. But look, Esau's doing his job. Yeah, Esau's doing his job, and you Israelites are doing yours, man. You're not following these laws and these statutes and these commandments to the best of your ability, and you're trying to act like you're Edomites and you can have all this power. Right? Well, you don't have no power out here, man. Right? What's it? No, let me get it on my phone. I'll just read it. Zephaniah 3:8 says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Yeah, because because of what the people are doing to his people, man. But we have to wait for the Lord for our justice and our vengeance, man. And the scriptures say, what? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So let's get some precepts real quick, man. Alright? This is Amos 3:1. It says, hear this word, hear this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So, the punishment is being meant because we're not, as a people, as a nation, have not been good in the eyes of the Lord, man. Right? He put them curses on us because he gave us almost that. He said it was almost like a contract. It's like, you do this, and you will get all this. Right? All the good things, the blessings. You have the blessings and the curses, man. You worship the Lord with all your heart. You keep the Lord's statutes and commandments. You do His will, man, and you follow no other gods and all that stuff, man. Right? And all the blessings will be upon you. But if you don't do any of those things and you do the opposite of those things, all the curses will come upon you, man. Right? Because where is it now? Well, let's get this real quick since I'm on it. Matthew 5:25 says, agree with thine adversaries quickly. Right? Whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. And that's the nicest thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen is they put you to death, man. Agree with thine adversary quickly, man. That's wisdom right there. Well, you can't reason with these guys. They don't want to hear you, right? All they want to do is, their numbers, and there's a spirit on them, man. There's a spirit on them that they hate you, and they want nothing more than to put a bullet in your head or to put a baton around your face, right? Smash your face into the ground, put their knee on your neck, and end you. Many jakes have been ended over traffic violations, man. That is not right. In the law of the land, ultimately it's the judgment from the Most High, but that's not right, man. Imagine you getting pulled over because of a traffic violation, your lights ain't on, and you end up getting punched out and chipping your tooth and having your face smashed into the ground because you didn't have lights on. What type of people are we dealing with here? Right? In fact, let's go to Genesis real quick. Because these devils have had a blessing, man. They are blessed. This is the very reason, I'll get straight to the point, this is the very reason why they can get away with this. Right? Genesis 27:38 says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou, he's been supplanted by Jacob, right? So he's been supplanted. And Jacob's taken the blessing, but he hasn't really been supplanted. It was the plan all along. Right? It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He's crying out, man. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, and I will slay my brother Jacob. So that's where this hatred is, built up through through the scriptures, man. I don't want to get there. 1 second. I want to get to the, just to make that point. Psalm 17:13 says, "Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, disappoint him, and cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked." That's Esau, Edom, man. Which is thy sword. So the Lord gave them that blessing, and that blessing really was so it could be used against us. Because that's what, haven't they done that the most? Haven't they? The sword of Esau, Edom, has been used against Jacob. The Israelites more than anybody else. So really, that was the plan all along. It's like, I'm going to give you the sword, and I'm going to use you as my sword, and you are going to be the wicked, and you're going to be destroyed for that. But ultimately, right now, they have full control. Right? They have full control, man. They're in control, not us. There is no rising. There's no grand rising, man. There might be a grand rising spiritually only through this truth. Nothing else. A lot of these niggas around talking about grand rising. They don't know what they're talking about, man. They're talking about being spiritual and the ancestors this and the ancestors that, man. It's not about that. It's about this truth. It's about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's about the elect. Right? It's about the elect and the remnant destined for salvation. The rest of you are going to get destroyed, man. Alright? And you're going to go through all this stuff. That's why you get into, we get sickened by the way Esau gets away with all this stuff, but ultimately he's meant to get away with it because he's the sword, man. And the Lord is using him to punish us. Our enemy. He's using our enemy. He has got them in a policy to put Jakes to death and all of that, and maim and be unjust against them. Right? Amos 9:8 says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom, and I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Right? For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, and all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us." And who's the sword again? Esau, Edom, man. What am I doing? Let me get them numbers back to front. Jeremiah 4. and 22 to get to the point. It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding." Yeah, this is why they do what they do, man. What does it take for you to understand that you don't have the levels to, there's that saying, your hands are too small to hot box. You know what I mean? We ain't got the facilities or the capabilities or the skill level, to be dealing on Esau's level, man. He's levels above us right now. Not spiritually, but and he's in the power seat. Doesn't matter what you do, you can, you're not going to get fair judgment, man. You're not going to get fair judgment, man. Let's get a couple more of these old school. I say old school because we brought these out in the early days when we was really out there. We trying to talk to Jake, man. We learn. It's not really about that. It's just about bringing the word out, man. And those that are going to understand, those that are going to get it, man. Isaiah 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. For as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore I will change their glory into shame. Yeah, man. We are looked upon. All it makes it look like is that these so that these niggas don't know how to act when the police come around if they just comply. And then you get these sellouts, Jake, saying the same thing, man. There's a guy called Officer Tainter, man. He's like the king of sellouts, man. Right? The king of sellouts. Let's get one more, man. I'm gonna close out. Let's go to the 1611 for this one. Let's see. Second Ezra 8:55 says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Yeah, that liberty, man. You're taking liberties thinking that you can even, where's your supervisor? I want your supervisor now. Nah, man, the Edomites can do that. The Edomites can do that and run up in the officer's face and pull away from them and, shut the door on them and just refuse to cooperate. And they end up just walking away. Because that spirit isn't on them, that determination to show you that you ain't shit here is not on them when it comes to dealing with Esau, Edom, or any other of the nations, man. Because it's about our punishment. Well, because only, I might as well get one more scripture, man, because I'm about to say it anyway, but... And let me finish this though. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous. No, I don't need to read it. Anyway, one more. In the Psalms, man. This is why, this really nails it, man. Where am I going? Yeah, this really nails it, man. You know where I'm going with this. Psalms 147 and 19 says what? He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, as for his judgments they have not known them, praise ye the Lord. So only really we can get punished for the iniquity, for the and for the betrayal going against the laws of Yahweh Shem Shaman. I agree with that adversary quickly, man. That's more or less a commandment, man. Just do that. We're not in our power right now, man. So anyway, that's it. Lord willing, it was edifying, just a little one, just to something that I've been seeing a lot of it for the past few days, man. So I thought, might as well just get some edification out of that, man. Just to show you, like, look, man, how many more we're going to see things, how many more times we're going to see this kind of type of thing, expecting to get justice, man. Alright, so with that, double honours, as always, once more to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and to that 1/3 that is following, the scriptures, man. Trying to live by what is told, man. Getting that understanding and not moving like the heathens of our people, man. So with that, shalom.